Hey guys, I wanted to make a video today talking about how to make your own tools. Well, not so much how to make your own tools, but making your own tools and making your own resources. So, a little bit stuttery, as always. So, this idea kind of came to me this morning that, there's been a lot of videos going around as well about sort of consumerism, materialism and whatnot, and I'm pretty sure that I've put my opinions in every which way for both sides of the spectrum in terms of how to spend money, because I don't really feel like I have issues with money myself. I do tend to spend a lot, and I tend to spend in big bulk lots, and I never spend really money that I don't have. But also sometimes I have spent money that really could have been spent for something else. For example, like I started saving up to move away, and then I just kept dipping into that savings, so that wasn't so great. So I thought that, 2016 is coming, it's the 31st today, and I was doing my cards, and I pulled the Hangman from the Wizard's Tarot, and it's been kind of like hovering around, and he's a professor of ruins, and he kept popping up near Christmas time to kind of warn me. I only really introspected after Christmas that it was a time to put everything on hold and just enjoy my family. And I really struggle with this because I'm such a creative person. I'm constantly doing things, constantly reading, writing, and I've spent so much of my time alone that now my life is becoming more social. I'm really struggling with that because I'm having more friends, I'm seeing family more, I'm in more groups and things like that, so I'm struggling a little bit. That's off topic. But the Hangman came up basically, and he came up about, I really do feel that it is about putting, he talks about sacrificing one life for another. And for me, that was sacrificing a part of myself that I do enjoy and I love, and I have fun doing it, which is, shopping and buying things and using things and supporting local businesses and supporting online businesses. That's something I really am passionate about because I feel like that's a way to give back to the community that I'm a part of. And I'm not saying that I won't do that, but this year coming, it's really important, at least for the first 6 months of the year, to be focusing on university and saving money to move out of my house, because my house is just hard. It's leaning, it's falling to pieces, it has mold, like really bad mold. And I kept telling myself that, I'd save up a couple of hundred, or not even $100, a couple of dollars, and then I'd get sort of discouraged that I would never be able to make enough money to move out of this house, and it was kind of a vicious cycle. And so that's my shadow that I'm dealing with. But also I need to start saving that money. Like this year coming is, like I said, the first 6 months is going to be about me really getting down and putting that money aside so that I can move to have a healthier life, because as I've been saying, I'm not going to be able to use these tools or these great things or if I'm ill, and I'm starting to feel ill, but I'm starting to really want to move away somewhere where it's much more healthier for me and my partner and friend. I don't know what we are. So my best friend. So in a long-winded way, because I rant a lot, I wanted to create my own tools next year, and I always get kind of clenchy when I think about making my own stuff, but I write and I do poetry and I create scrapbooks and art journals, and so that kind of creativity is not really that alien to me. But when it comes to creating tools or things that I need to use, I've kind of lost that art of really being confident in the fact that it's mine. I think because it doesn't look so pristine and perfect. For example, like if you buy an Oracle deck, it's created with an intent, and it's also created in a way that doesn't look flawed, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, I really see the beauty in making something for yourself, because you are tapping into your inner child, you are tapping into something that's you are tapping into something that is really magical, because it really is. I remember when I was young, it would have been about 15, 14, no, even earlier than that, 13, 14, and I used to make board games out of the books that I used to read. So for example, I made an Anne Frank board game because I just love that book. I can't even remember what it looked like, but I know that I made it, and I made a scrapbook to go with it, and like a guidebook to go with it, and I used to love doing that sort of stuff. I was the kind of child who I went to a birthday party and I won this kind of blow up alligator kind of thing, like one of those things that you blow up and it's like plushy kind of thing. And I used to take that around with me everywhere and just write stories about it and draw him, and he became my friend. So I think I've always been that really creative person who takes what I have and uses it to the best of my ability, or uses it to the best of my creativity. And I feel like I've kind of lost that over the years with buying things. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with buying things, there's nothing wrong with not buying things. Just personally for me, it's been a challenge, especially because my paychecks have been fluctuating, and there's been years where I've got lots more money and I just went on a rampage, spending rampage. So I think that it's not so much imposing a rule that I can't buy anything, it's shifting my perspective. But when it comes to creating my own tools, I'm just looking at my tools now, I really want to start tapping back into that really childish, not so much childish, but inner child mentality of creating, that it doesn't matter if it's perfect or not, because really the only people that told us that were the people around us. I mean, I don't think I really thought that it was, that my art was crappy until someone told me, you know, what does that stick man look like, that, etc, etc. And so I'm going to show you 3 things that I have made myself. They aren't perfect, they aren't like neat and tidy, they're kind of simplistic, and I do plan on actually making new ones this year. I have an idea of what I want to do. But okay, so for the first thing that I have is I have my Ogham sticks, which are on paddle pop sticks, because that's what I had and I really wanted to start. I didn't want to wait until I had enough money or until I could find the right one, until I started working with Ogham, because it's part of my Celtic path and it's really important to me. So I created these last year. What I want to do with these as well is get some better sticks and use my mum's engraver and create my own using the sticks that I buy later on. Although I am contemplating just finding the tree branches and things like that if I can. That might be my project for the year at some point. I just have to find out which of these trees are in Australia and where can I find them. But they're basically just paddle pop sticks with the name of the tree, the meaning, and the Ogham symbol. And you know, for a long time when I made these, I didn't use them because I kind of thought to myself, you know, they're not anything special. They're just paddle pop sticks with writing on them. How am I supposed to connect with them? But then I started putting them on my altar and reading with the Ogham and kind of really working with them. And one of my messages that I really want to get across to you guys is that, you know, magic is about imbuing things with your own energy and your own personal intent. So if I say that this stick is magical, to me it is magical. and by saying that and putting that energy into the stick is going to produce that magical quality to it. It's going to put the energy into the stick, because really, you know, tarot cards, like the Four Queens, sorry, Kelly Maddox says, is that, you know, basically tarot cards are just pieces of paper. So it's really up to you to put your energy into whatever you have, and which is what I'm going to be doing with these ones more, because I really loved working and studying with the Ogham, and I think as part of my Celtic path, which I discussed in my other video that I'm going to be doing next year, I really want to use these to sort of get closer to that sort of pantheon, if that makes sense. A lot of these things that I make are based on that. So I can't remember when it was, but I think it might have been Beltane or somewhere around that period of time. I really wanted to make, like, I wanted to buy some stones, but then I decided to go outside because I had these like really interesting stones in the garden from the last people who lived here. We dug up the garden, we found these, and they were just laying there, and I thought they're really, really beautiful and they're smooth. So I wanted to create some elemental stones, because another thing that I really want to work with is elemental magic correspondences. It's really, really important to me to be doing that, because I really want to plug into those elementals as well. So I created some myself. I just painted it red, and I really liked the effect that it had. It's kind of like, I don't know, I always think of dragon's eggs. It's got this kind of really, it's not going to focus because I have a crappy webcam, but and then I got water, I think it is. Yep, water, air, and earth. And they're not perfect. You know, my painting skills are strange at best, but I love them. I love them so much. I put them in my little pouch and bring them around. I've done sort of inside rituals with them. I put them on my nature altar, because I have a separate altar. I have a separate altar for all my naturey kind of things, and I have a altar for Morrigan. And I love those, and I think that it's a really fantastic way to sort of just spend half an hour, because it really only took me half an hour to paint them and dry them, because I have not heat gun. Yeah, heat gun. So I love them, and I think that you can find these stones, like you can go to the dollar stores or anywhere like that that sells those kind of stones, or even just go outside your front yard and find some, or in the park or anything like that. I really want to start collecting more stones so that I can paint them with symbols and whatnot, because they are nature, and I'm taking from nature, I'm borrowing from nature, I'm using nature, and that's something that really feels really good for me, because it does feel creative whenever I pick up these stones. I mean, even whether they were bought at a shop or not, when they were first put in, they've been in the ground for 3 years at least that I know of. So they've got the earth energy in them. They've got this sort of wonderful power to them already, and just holding them feels really good. So that's another way that I've created my own tools. And lastly, I just finished this off. I haven't used it yet. A little bit dinky. Dinky meaning, you know, sort of simplistic, I guess, and kind of strange. But strange that they don't look right, because I have to fussy cut them, and fussy cutting is like when you have something really small and you have to use really tiny scissors like this to cut around them, and I can't cut circles with anything. But I love these. So see, I'm even trying to sort of tell you guys how crappy they look, to sort of make sure that you're not judging me. It's already coming out. This is what I mean. This is part of that process. It's kind of going, okay, the only person really judging my crappy shit right now is me, and it's not crappy. I really love these. I'm actually really excited to use them. Okay, so I found this thing on Pinterest, because I really wanted to print out runes, because as I was talking to you guys about, the Hangman in the Wizard's Tower has a set of rune as the as kind of like, not practical magic, I guess it's informative resources. And I have been wanting to get some ruins, but then I was going to get some for Christmas, but then I just had to get a spread book instead, 365 spreads. So I decided to make my own ruin set, and by making my own I mean printing it off and creating it with some paper and ink. So I found this printable sheet on Pinterest, but it really comes from www.spiritlore.wordpress.com, and I'll put that in the link below. And they come with a guide as well. But I just made these like little, I don't know how to show you guys without spilling them on the floor. I just made these ruins like this. I printed them out. I printed them out on cardstock paper that I had, like Tim Holtz paper. It's got like a really nice sort of textured back. You can see they're not round properly, but that's okay. And then I had this like kind of, what do you call it, like label sticker paper, and then I put that through my printer, and then I attached it straight on because I didn't really want to get too fussy with it. And then now that's stuck on, and then I went over it with blue ink. I don't know what brand it is, I put it away, but I actually really like it. And I'm going to stick these in a little pouch, and it came with a guide. I'll just show you guys, which I need to put in a folder. It came with a guide as well, because Norse culture and mythology and something is also tied in with something I'm really interested in as well. I love that pantheon as well, and I'm really wanting to explore it as well next year as part of that Celtic as well. But there you go. And they're really cute. I like them. They're small, they're made of paper. I think I might eventually get some glossy accents or something that can sort of protect the paper a little bit more. I was going to put Mod Podge on it, but Mod Podge for me is more like decoupage, and it's very gluey kind, and I don't want them to be gluey. I just want them to be sort of lacquered, I guess you can say. And so little tiny ruins, but I actually really like them, and I like them because I, you know, made them my own. You can get elemental colors to print out, but I just wanted to get the normal black and white and then sort of do it myself. And I really wanted the blue color because blue is really my color as a water sign, but just I've always loved the color blue. It just soothes me. So I really think that they're going to be fantastic tools. I'm going to be using them a lot, and if, you know, if for example they get damaged or something, I can always print them out again. It was free. I already had the scrapbooking paper, ink, label stuff, and really the only thing that really cost me was the ink, but I already had that. So all in all, it might look like it cost something, but it was kind of free because I already had most of the material, so I didn't have to go out and buy any more. So I'm really happy about that. And that's something I really want to try doing too, is when I want to make something using stuff that I already have. I have plans to make my own set of ruins with actual pieces of wood and stuff that have fallen down, because outside my house and outside in general in parks, there's these massive pieces of wood that just fall, and they are like this thick. So I want to start gathering that kind of wood and learning how to sort of strip it back or treat it so that I can cut it up and use it to create some more ruins or ogham sticks or whatnot later on, because it's fallen down. I really see it as an offering from nature, and I really want to give back to nature by creating something out of it, so it's not sort of just lying there and people standing over it, walking over it and putting rubbish on it and whatnot. I think that's a really beautiful way to give back and devote yourself to nature and the earth, and to your own creative practice of, you know, creating your own tools. So I know that was really long-winded. I'm not really good at making short videos. I'm just not. But I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will talk to you guys later.